Hello and welcome to the Impact Coaches Corner. I am your host, Chris Lingham, and today's episode we are going to be covering the front squat. Alright guys, so in today's episode, the front squat, we're going to be covering the different exercises that you can do leading up to it. So if you're a beginner watching this episode, it's going to be great for you because you're going to be able to see the progressions that you can make weeks or months or even a year to get into the most advanced level of this exercise. So first of all, before we get into it, I want to talk about the benefits. Why would you do a front squat? So most people tell me when they want to work out, I always hear the same word, total body, right? Everybody wants to train total body. Well, this is an exercise that literally in one exercise targets the entire body. You need to use all of your muscles when you're doing this. You need to have a lot of flexibility and mobility. So right away, this exercise is going to be really great for strengthening your legs. It's going to be great for strengthening your core, but most importantly, it's going to improve your flexibility and your mobility so that you stay safe in training and you can do a lot more with your conditioning and running and doing the things that you love in fitness. So we're going to break this down, starting off with the kettlebell. So I'll see you on the next part. Alright guys, so you might have seen a kettlebell before in different training gyms, or maybe in a gym that you go to, or maybe you have one at home. But today we're going to cover the kettlebell squat, alright, and why you should do it safely, and the cues that go over. So if you just saw that real quick, I always pick it up from a deadlift position, and I'm just going to pop it up, alright, keeping a nice neutral spine. So the first thing you want to do is you want to keep your feet slightly outside of hip width. The next part is you want to hold this kettlebell just like that. Now a lot of people will hold it like this if they don't have the wrist strength, but for today's video we're going to go over the kettlebell squat like this. So the next step that we do is once we got our hands in position, we're going to drive our elbows in, thinking about crushing it, right? We're crushing our hands in, and now as we go to squat, we want to make sure we sit our butt back, drive our knees out, and allow for clearance in this exercise. A good depth gauger is going to be my elbows being able to get down to my knees, and then we're going to drive back up to the top. So it's a deep breath, all the way down, all the way up. Deep breath. Good. So that right there is the kettlebell kettlebell goblet squat. It's technically a front squat. It's loading up your core, causing you to use your upper body muscles as well as stabilize. So the next one, we're going to be going over our dumbbell front squat. So dumbbells, usually you have these laying around all the time, either at home or you can always find access to them at a gym. Now, there are different variations of dumbbell squats, but for this video, we're going to be going over the front rack dumbbell front squat. So front rack simply means we're going to be in this position. So I want to keep the dumbbells resting on my shoulders, and I'm thinking about driving my elbows up, and I'm going to bring my feet out just out of hip width. Now if you have tight hips, you might want to spin your feet out just a little bit, but you really want to focus on being able to do that with your elbows high and your feet in almost neutral. So the same thing, deep breath in, all the way down. Just like that. So that exercise challenges it a lot more because now I'm being forced to have to stabilize from rocking back and forth. My back, so my lat muscles in the back, if they're really tight, it makes it really, really challenging to perform that exercise. So once again, you start with the kettlebell, you move your way up to the dumbbells, and then you're almost ready for the barbell. Alright, now if you've mastered the lower levels of this exercise, the kettlebell goblet squat, and you've done the front squat, now it's almost time for you to try a little bit more of an advanced version. Now starting off, you should just get used to the barbell. So doing front squats with just the bar with no weight are going to be good for you, just so that you can feel the difference of what's going to happen. Now you are going to be challenged with your wrist, right? Right here, it's going to be flexible. You have to have really flexible wrists for this. Really, really flexible triceps and lats, but once you get in that position, it's going to be a great exercise for you for your whole body. So I'm going to be coming out of the rack. Normally we would face inside, but for this video's sake, I'm going to be coming this way. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to use a 3-finger grip. Sometimes people use 4, some people use 2, some people just use the 1 with the ring. But I'm going to go with a 3-finger grip, and I'm just going to step underneath the bar, and right away I'm going to get those my hips are under, I'm going to get those elbows nice and high. So I'm really trying to drive the elbows. I don't want to leave the elbows hanging and then the bar doesn't have support. The next part is keeping this bar across my shoulder blades right here so that I can perform this exercise correctly. So elbows are up, and the same thing, we're just sitting down, spreading the floor, driving our knees out. Ready? And that would be a set on the front squat. Now, if you have trouble in that position, a great stretch for that, and we usually do stretches in between our exercises, is to take your hands down onto the ground and rocking back, and you're going to get some extra mobility here in the wrist. Now, if you're tight up here, what you're going to need to do is grab a band. We're going to take our elbow into the band, and what we want to do is we want to just get in a nice plate, so we're about 180 to it, and we're leaning in, and we're stretching. Then you're going to come forward, just like that. It's going to help you in that position. Now, a lot of times people are still going to want to do the front squat even though they can't get in that position, so we're going to show you the quick progression off of that for people who have really a long ways to go before they're able to get the mobility for that exercise. So this is more of a bodybuilder front squat here, is the nickname that they get it. So what you do is you're going to come underneath just like you would before, but instead of being in this position, you're going to grab across, right? You want to cross your hands to where they're comfortable, and you're going to rest up with it on your shoulders. Just like that. Now, you might be doing front squats for a long time before you ever get to the barbell, and that's fine. Fitness is a journey. It's all about getting to, where you want to be at the top. You can always have somewhere to go. You always want to continue to strive to improve your fitness level, improve your strength, improve your mobility. So today I just wanted to show you that video, because when you're just starting off, there's plenty of places to go, and sometimes when you're thinking about getting into something like this, it's going to be a lot more beneficial than if you're thinking about how much you weigh or how you look in a certain pair of clothes. Alright, so thank you guys once again for tuning in to our Impact Coaches Corner. I am your host, Chris Lingham from TFW South Jersey, and if you guys want more free content, please visit our website at www.trainingforwarriorsouthjersey.com.